we're going to be talking about the LPNH. Because this is something that I do actually have like insider information on. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, and I wasn't planning on talking about this today. This is just something that happened today. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I was involved actively in the LPNH for 2 years, and almost that entire time, I was on the communications committee for the LPNH. I was on the communications committee, I think, officially for like a good solid year and a half. I don't know when exactly I left. I left a couple times and came back because I was pissed off about the stuff going on. The point is, though, is that not only was I a member, I mean, I guess, I am technically a dues paying member of the LPNH right now. I will be until next year. And hopefully after that, if they continue to get their shit together, I mean, if they ever actually start getting their shit together, I don't know. But I am actually currently a dues paying member of the LPNH. But not only that, I was active in the party. I was friends, or I thought I was friends, with the people running the LPNH Twitter. And I was in the fucking communications committee. I was in the signal chat, the private signal chat, where they were talking about this shit constantly, where they were planning all their stuff. I was in all the conversations every single fucking time. The shit has hit the fan over something that has been tweeted from the LPNH Twitter. I was in a lot of those conversations. I know exactly what people are saying. I know exactly how they're reacting. I know exactly how all this shit works, and I've never talked about it before. Because up until recently, up until they really lost their shit and removed the duly elected chair of the party because he took away the keys to the Twitter account when they didn't want the keys to the Twitter account taken away because they don't want any parameters or guidelines on the bullshit that they are allowed to tweet. I always defended them, even when I didn't agree with what was tweeted. Even if I didn't personally like it, I still defended them. I never spoke publicly about all the bullshit that happens behind the scenes, but I fucking had enough. I have fucking had enough with this bullshit. So today, when Nina Turner tweeted that insulin should be free, medicine should be free, because Nina Turner is a progressive activist that believes in universal health care, the LPNH tweeted something overtly fucking racist and said Nina Turner picking crops should be free. Now, the LPNH has done shit like this on multiple occasions. What they're going to say is, we were trying to make a point about forced labor, and we were just doing it in the most based way possible. Well, Naruto says, if you want to push the merch store, maybe add it to the ticker. I'm not going to focus on that right now, Naruto, but thank you for the super chat. I do appreciate it. The LPNH, over the last 2 years, has gotten in so many internet kerfuffles for tweeting, I'm sorry, overtly racist bullshit. They know exactly what is going to happen when they tweet overtly racist bullshit. It is no longer a mystery about what is going to happen and what the Twitter response is going to be when they tweet overtly racist bullshit. They know exactly what they are doing. They are trying to provoke people, to outrage people, so that they can clout chase from the alt-right on Twitter. That is the entire party strategy right now. I'm not joking about that. There is no recruitment to the LPNH. The LPNH is actually bleeding members because of the Twitter. What I want people to understand about New Hampshire is this. Okay, New Hampshire's a weird place. There is disproportionately a ridiculous amount of libertarians that live in New Hampshire because of the Free State Project. The Free State Project is the idea of getting libertarian concentration in New Hampshire so that we can get elected to office and implement libertarian policy on a statewide level. So there are legitimately thousands of real principled libertarians that have literally picked up their life to move to New Hampshire to be a part of the Free State Project. There are only about 100, and I actually think it's less now. There are probably like around about 100 dues paying members of the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire. I personally, my personal supporter community, I quite literally have 10 times the dues paying supporters in my community supporting my work than the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire has members in New Hampshire. I'm telling you this because there is a massive pool of libertarians in New Hampshire who want nothing to do with the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire because of the Twitter. Because the Twitter is not about advancing libertarian ideas. It is not about advancing libertarian principles. There was a time when it was. There really was. 2 years ago, they made a mistake every now and again because they were trying to figure out this based messaging thing that they wanted to do. But there was a time when I felt much more comfortable with what the party Twitter was doing than now. When you exist in a state where there are thousands of libertarians that move here specifically to be libertarian, that they build their entire lives around being libertarian. They only talk to other libertarians. They do libertarian activities. They do libertarian events. They have libertarian clubhouses. And you quite literally can't get even a sliver, a tiny fucking sliver of the libertarians in New Hampshire to join the LPNH because of the LPNH's racist Twitter bullshit. That is a problem. And so what I want people to know is that the LPNH Twitter is controlled by a tiny handful, and their names are Reed Coverdale, Eric Sawyer, and Jeremy Kaufman are the main tweeters. They are controlled by a tiny group of really fucking insecure white men. And I wouldn't actually be bringing up that they're white because it doesn't have anything to do with it, except that those deeply insecure white men whose names are Reed Coverdale, Eric Sawyer, and Jeremy Kaufman continue to do racist bullshit like this. They pretty much every single person involved in the Libertarian Party, even members of the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire, involved even in the Mises Caucus, which, by the way, this is not a Mises Caucus thing. I want to be very clear about this. The Mises Caucus kicked everyone out of the Mises Caucus in the state of New Hampshire because of the fucking Twitter. So this is not Mises Caucus. They hate the Mises Caucus. The people running the LPNH Twitter hate the Mises Caucus. They shit talk the Mises Caucus all the fucking time. Things started getting really bad with the LPNH Twitter when Reed Coverdale moved back to New Hampshire. I squarely fucking blame. It's not that there weren't problematic tweets before, because there were. But the Twitter started getting much more extreme when Reed Coverdale moved back to New Hampshire and got involved with the Twitter account. And I squarely blame most of this on him. Because the entire party strategy, as formulated by the three fucking people running the fucking Twitter, is to get as many tweets and retweets and likes and hearts and things on Twitter as possible, because that is quite literally all they care about. That is it. That's all they care about. And they get away with it because the executive committee of the LPNH are all their fucking drinking buddies, and they don't care enough to intervene. In fact, the one time someone tried to intervene, who was the now former chair of the party, his name is Conrad Nelson, and he's a really good fucking guy. Conrad tried to intervene when the LPNH Twitter started attacking PorkFest because PorkFest wasn't alt-right enough for them. They had Conrad Nelson removed as the chair of the party because he took away the keys to the Twitter account for 2 days. And in the documents where they had Conrad Nelson removed as chair of the party, they said that Conrad Nelson did irreparable damage to the reputation of the LPNH for taking away their keys to the Twitter for 2 fucking days. But they do this shit all the time. And they know exactly what they're doing. And I want to talk more about that in a second. A Pilgrim Progressing says, thank you for your balanced thoughts on this. So I'll give you my balanced thoughts on this. I've been holding this shit in a long time. So this is not an accident. They do this on purpose. They do this on purpose to outrage everyone on Twitter so that they get as many retweets as they possibly can, so that they get as many alt-right followers as they possibly can, because that is quite literally what they care about. And you'll see stupid bullshit like this asshole who advocates for free medicine. They were just talking about forced labor. Bro, they were not talking about forced fucking labor. And this is the fucking problem. Is they do this in a way, and this is strategic. They do this in a way so they can act stupid later. They're like, oh, I can't believe everyone was upset that we told a black woman to go into the field and pick crops for free. I can't believe everyone was upset that we did this. We were just talking about forced labor. We don't like forced labor. You don't like forced labor. It's all bullshit. It's all a cover. They know exactly what they're doing, and they do it on purpose, and then they plan to do it, and they write it in a way where they can say, I just can't believe that everyone is so upset about this. Because they know when they do overtly racist bullshit, like telling a black woman she needs to go pick cotton in a fucking field, they know it's going to outrage everyone. They know it's going to get them retweets. They know it's going to get them people crying about them, and then they're going to retweet all the people crying about them. This is their strategy. This is their strategy. To appeal to the worst possible element on Twitter so they can get more followers, because that's all they care about. Kino Review says, grew up in the South, and I've never heard anything this extreme as the LPNH said today. This is disgraceful and a sabotaging of the Free State Project. Oh, yes, it is. And I'll tell you what, the same people who are running the LPNH Twitter are overtly trying to sabotage the Free State Project. They're trying to sabotage PorkFest right now. That's a whole little thing they've been doing for a while, and you know what I'm talking about, Kino. But they didn't just do this once. They doubled down. They doubled down over and over and over and over and over again. And this is what they do every single damn time. They're doubling down, and all of their alt-right followers are like, based, you're so based, bro. And so this is how they get off. This is all they have in the world. Look at this. Look at this. Fuck it. I have a right to free fucking cotton. They're making memes about this stuff now. I cannot tell you. In the 2 years that I have been involved, bro, you're missing the fucking point. I need you to shut your mouth and start listening right now. The reason that they are doing this is they're not saying no one should expect free stuff. They are purposefully tweeting racist shit to get people outraged so that they retweet their stuff and they appeal to the alt-right internet. They don't give a shit about the principle. This is what I'm telling you. And every time you guys do this, like, I don't think it's racist to say we shouldn't expect free stuff, and they're right, and they're so based. They're so based. Every single fucking time you guys do this, you are acting like retards. You are doing exactly what they want you to do. You are playing right into their strategy of clout chasing the alt-right on goddamn Twitter. So fuck off with that. I am so sick of people pretending they don't know what they're fucking doing, because they do. They do. The main person running the LPNH Twitter, I'll tell this story because I don't give a fuck anymore. The chair of the communications committee, his name is Eric Sawyer. He runs the LPNH Twitter. He is the main tweeter from the account. Eric Sawyer has a spider web tattoo on his arm. Does everyone know what a spider web tattoo means? Anyone? Any bikers in the house? Any bikers? Anyone know what a spider web tattoo means? I know what a spider web tattoo means because when Jeff Douglas, who is the national organizer for the Mises Caucus, was having a conversation with Eric Sawyer, the main tweeter of the LPNH Twitter account, about the spider web tattoo that Eric Sawyer has on his arm, and yes, it's on his elbow. Yes, it is. What does that mean, Renan? What does that mean? Tell us what that means. When the national organizer for the Mises Caucus had a direct conversation with Eric Sawyer in Reno at the Reno Reset last year, he asked him about the spiderweb tattoo. And I know this because this conversation was relayed to me by Jeff Douglas before Jeff Douglas decided to email my mother and lie about me, when Jeff Douglas was still being nice to me. A spiderweb tattoo means, and Eric Sawyer confirmed this, that he doesn't really like black people. It's a white supremacy thing. It's an Aryan nation thing. And that is what essentially Eric Sawyer told Jeff Douglas in Reno, which was then relayed to me and many other people. And that is the main person tweeting from the LPNH Twitter. And I am tired of pretending like you are continuing to do. You can Google, bro. Google LPNH Twitter. You'll come up with a plethora of examples. I'm not going to do your fucking work for you. I am tired of pretending that this is anything but deliberate. I'm sorry. Jeremy Kauffman tweets on a regular basis about how black people are less intelligent naturally than every other type of person in the world. I've never liked it. And I never said anything about it, even though it is absolutely overtly goddamn racist. And if you guys don't believe me about the meaning of the spiderweb tattoo, then Google meaning of spiderweb tattoo and it will come right up. It is a white supremacy thing. It is an old biker thing. That is exactly what it means. And that's what Eric Sawyer, the main tweeter of the LPNH, told Jeff Douglas it meant in Reno. So, what is going on is a concerted effort to appeal to the worst possible people in the world. Oh, look, another meme. Another meme. Oh. And they're just pretending. We don't know why anyone would be upset that we told a black woman to go pick cotton. They know what they're doing. They're doing it deliberately. They're doing it deliberately. This is their entire timeline right now. They're doing it deliberately because they know it's going to piss people off and it's going to get them more alt-right followers and that's going to get them media coverage and that is all they fucking care about. But I'll tell you this. Maj Touré has been taking them to task. Thank God for that. Yup. Jeremy, the guy with the funny vote for me ads, has tweeted on many occasions that he thinks that black people are just naturally dumber than everyone else. And statistics back him up, and he's tired of not having to say it anymore. And listen, man, Jeremy is a really smart person. He really, really is. I learned a lot from Jeremy. Jeremy's ads were great. I promoted Jeremy's ads. I did everything I could to promote Jeremy's senatorial campaign. I thought his ads were incredible. Some of Jeremy's messaging is so good. And I actually do believe that Jeremy, not Eric and not Reed, Jeremy Kauffman is actually like a deeply principled person. I really do believe that. But some of the shit that comes out of his mouth is just incredibly unnecessary. And when you combine it with Eric's spiderweb tattoo and the overtly racist shit that the LPNH account keeps tweeting, I don't even know what to say. Okay. So Maj Touré has been taking them to task. He also admitted what it meant to someone in Reno. He admitted it. He wasn't hiding it. He admitted it because he apparently felt like he was among friends. Isn't that funny? Maj Touré has been tweeting about them. So the LPNH, obviously believing that something else was going to happen, put this poll to Maj Touré because Maj is pissed. And I don't think that this poll is actually going the way that the LPNH thought it would, because Maj says whoever runs the LPNH Twitter page is consistently on dumb shit, whoever it is. And I fucking told Maj who it was, and I don't fucking feel sorry for that. Fuck you guys. So the LPNH put this poll on Maj's Twitter and says, who has a better understanding of libertarian principles, us or Maj? And look who's winning. Maj Touré is winning with almost 2,500 votes by 58% to 42%. That didn't go the way that the LPNH thought it would, I promise you. And I'm going to bet that that poll's going to get deleted at some point. Rottweiler, this is another reason why people on the libertarian side can't reach people on the far left, because chuckle fucks like this feed the idea that people on the right of Mao are unabashed racists. See, and this is the fucking problem. This is the problem. This is the last thing I'm going to say about this. I've been tweeting a lot about this today. If you want to know my full thoughts and have more information, you can go to my Twitter, Dr. Carlin B on Twitter. But I tweeted this. I said, today the LPNH will recruit hundreds of thousands of new alt-right fucking nationalists to the Libertarian National Party by singing their very favorite racist songs. They know what they're doing. They know the audience they're targeting. They are not targeting libertarians. They are targeting alt-right nationalists. This is not an accident anymore. It never was an accident. Like they know what they're doing. I just don't know how to make it any more clear. They know they're not, oh my God, I don't know why everyone's so upset about this. They know what they're doing. They will pretend they don't know why everyone is upset. They will call the people who have problems with it trash. The world will think that the LPNH and the 3 people running the LPNH account, who are, again, Eric Sawyer, Reed Coverdale, and Jeremy fucking Kaufman, the world will think that this is who libertarians are, and will think that the LPNH represents libertarians when they do not. Again, the vast majority of libertarians in the state of New Hampshire, of which there are thousands who moved here specifically to be libertarian, the vast majority of those people want nothing to do with the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire because of the Twitter. These people do not represent libertarians. They represent the alt-right. That is who they're appealing to. That is who they're clout chasing to. It is so clear. All you need to do is look at their messaging. All you need to do is look at all the people who have been backlashing against them, telling them to cut this shit out. But unfortunately, the executive committee of the LPNH and Robley Hall, who is one of the most useless fucking people I've ever met in my life, will do nothing to stop them. The people who are running the LPNH, who were elected to run the LPNH, will do absolutely nothing to stop them. Except, Sarah, as I've previously explained 3 or 4 times, but you clearly aren't listening, Eric Sawyer told someone that was exactly what it fucking meant. He told him. Didn't hide it at all. Not being secretive about it. So you're the one making shit up now to excuse someone who has been tweeting overtly racist bullshit from this account for 2 fucking years. There will be angry meetings behind the scenes where absolutely nothing will be done to stop it. And let me tell you about this angry meetings thing. There have been, in the 2 years that I've been involved in this party, several dozen meetings about the LPNH Twitter, both internally within the LPNH and also involving people from the Mises Caucus, also involving people from LP National. There was a time where there were like monthly fucking angry phone calls with the leadership of the LPNH and LP National, basically saying, cut out the fucking shit on Twitter. You're making us all look bad. There have been every single time this happens, there is a meeting where someone goes, maybe we should create a set of guidelines for the Twitter. And then someone else goes, yes, we should create a set of guidelines for the Twitter. We should form a special committee to create a special set of guidelines for the Twitter so they stop tweeting overtly fucking racist shit. These conversations have happened so many times, and it never goes anywhere. Do you want to know why? Over 2 years, they've been talking about creating Twitter guidelines for the LPNH Twitter so they avoid the party tweeting overtly racist shit from the official Twitter account. Do you know why it never goes anywhere? Do you know why they continue to do this without any sort of guidelines or any sort of consequence or any sort of anything? Because every single time that someone tries to do this, the process is sabotaged by Eric Sawyer. The people running the Twitter account ignore it. They don't create. It is fucking Eric Sawyer's job to run the communications committee. He is the chair of the communications committee. It is his one fucking job within the party. And every single time that someone says, we need to create guidelines for the Twitter, Eric, he sabotages the process. He ignores it. He doesn't involve himself. No one actually participates, so no one is involved. The people who are put in charge of running the committee to come up with the guidelines, Stephen Nass, ignore their responsibility. They refuse to do it. And so to this day, even though there have been conversation after conversation after conversation after conversation after angry meeting after angry meeting after angry meeting after angry meeting after angry meeting, they refuse to put guidelines in place, even though so many people have been affected by their Twitter bullshit. People have lost work, they've lost clients, they've lost jobs. Because anytime someone finds out that someone's involved in the LPNH and the Twitter tweets something overtly fucking racist and it ends up on the news, people's jobs end up getting called, people's businesses end up getting called. It has cost people in New Hampshire tens of thousands of dollars of money, and this has been brought up time and time and time and time and time again. And the three assholes running the fucking Twitter, whose literal job it is to put guidelines in place, refuse to listen to anyone and refuse to take responsibility for their fucking shit. They are impacting the perception of libertarians on a national fucking level. It is disgusting. It is ridiculous. And I'm sorry. The National Party supports this shit. I cannot even. If the National Party does not have serious discussions about disaffiliating from LPNH after this bullshit, I don't know what to say. And it looks like the National Party supports them because the National Party supported them on Twitter earlier, and Karen Ann Harlos tweeted, I just don't know why everyone's upset about this. This is the same LPNH that left me hanging about a tweet. Oh, they left me hanging many times. They left me hanging many times, and still I didn't say anything. Thank you, Nick, for the chat. If LP National does not have a serious discussion about disaffiliating from the Libertarian Party of New Hampshire over this bullshit, after they have been asked and warned and cajoled and begged to cut the racist bullshit time and time and time again over 2 years, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Everyone knows what's going on. Everyone in the LPNH knows what's going on. Everyone in the Mises Caucus knows what's going on. Everyone at LP National knows what's going on. And no one wants to say anything about it. And no one wants to do anything about it. And it is disgusting. They are driving people that would otherwise be a perfect fit for the Libertarian Party. They are driving people away for no good reason other than they want their Twitter clout, mother effers. That's all they care about. That is all they care about. So, that's all I have to say about that for the moment. But I am so sick of covering for this bullshit. I did it for 2 years. Every single time they tweeted something crazy, and man, I liked some of the base tweets. I fucking loved that Happy Holidays tweet. I thought the Happy Holidays tweet was great. That was awesome. But there is no need for this. There is no need for it. And everyone defending their messaging. They're just not in favor of forced labor. That's not the point. You can make a point about not being in favor of forced fucking labor without telling a black woman to go pick cotton. That's all I have to say about that. I didn't really realize I was going to yell that much. Thank you for allowing me to get my feelings out. I hope I've made myself clear. I will be glad to answer any questions about this, and I will dish every bit of dirt that I know to dish, and I know a lot more than they think I do. And so, yeah, that's where we're going to end that, because this wasn't even supposed to be on the stream today. Autumn, I hope it was worth it.